Before we start, I want you to imagine something. You're walking down a quiet street in London. A man smiles at you and says, "Morning, lovely day, isn't it?" You understand every word, but your mouth stays closed. Nothing comes out. A few seconds later, the moment is gone. Have you ever felt like that? Maybe at a cafe in Toronto? Maybe on a rainy morning in Manchester? Or while talking to a neighbor in Australia? You know English, but speaking feels just one step away. Here's the good news. That step is much smaller than you think. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need hundreds of new words. You don't need to sound like a native speaker. And you definitely don't need to study for 3 hours every day. What you need is a few minutes of real English, used in real life. Today, we're not opening a textbook. We're opening a normal day. You'll hear easy conversations, simple answers, friendly questions, and little by little, your English will begin to feel natural. So, put your shoulders down. Take a slow breath. Smile. And let's spend the next few minutes together. Just like two friends having a relaxed conversation. Because by the end of this episode, you won't just understand more English. You'll feel much more ready to actually use it. Hi, my friend. Welcome back to Learn English Unleashed. I'm Emma. And today, I'll stay with you for the next few minutes. Just like a friend, we'll speak slowly. We'll think slowly. And little by little, you'll feel English becoming more natural. Remember, this is not a test. Nobody is giving you a score. Nobody is waiting for a perfect answer. We're simply spending time together, using English. And sometimes, that's the best practice of all. Last weekend, my cousin Emily called me from Canada. It was Saturday morning. The sun was shining. Children were riding their bikes. Families were walking through a beautiful park. Some people were carrying picnic baskets. Others were playing football on the green grass. Emily smiled and said, "Emma, I met a woman from Brazil today." I asked, "Oh, what happened?" Emily laughed. Our English wasn't perfect. Sometimes we stopped. Sometimes we searched for a word. Sometimes we smiled instead of speaking. But after 20 minutes, we were talking like friends. Not because their English became perfect, because they stopped being afraid. And that's today's biggest secret. We'll come back to this story later, because something surprising happened before Emily went home. But first, let me ask you something. Why do some learners improve very quickly, while others study for years and still feel stuck? Is it grammar? Is it vocabulary? Is it talent? Or is there another reason? Keep listening, because in a few minutes, the answer may completely change the way you practice English. Most learners make one small mistake. And honestly, it's a very normal mistake. They wait. They wait until they know more words. They wait until their grammar feels perfect. They wait until they feel confident. But confidence doesn't come first. Speaking comes first. Then confidence follows. Think about learning to swim. Did you read 10 books before getting into the water? No. You jumped in? Maybe the water felt cold. Maybe you moved slowly. But every small splash helped you float. English works the same way. Small conversations, small wins, small progress. That's how real confidence grows. So from today, don't wait to feel ready. Start, and you'll become ready. Exercise 1. Let English walk beside you. Here's our first little change. Don't make English a special activity. Make it part of your normal day. Imagine you're standing in a small coffee shop in Melbourne early in the morning. The barista hands you a warm cup. She smiles and says, "Enjoy your coffee." You don't need a long conversation. Just smile and quietly say back, "Thank you." That's enough. Now imagine you're crossing a small bridge in Amsterdam. A cyclist rings a bell. People are chatting beside the canal. You hear someone say, "Lovely weather today." Pause the video if you want. And repeat after me. Lovely weather today. Again. Lovely weather today. Excellent. Now let's make it personal. Imagine it's raining outside. You're putting on your jacket. You softly say, "I'd better take my umbrella." Repeat after me. I'd better take my umbrella. Very nice. Did you notice something? You didn't study grammar. You didn't memorize a long vocabulary list. You simply connected English to a real moment. And that's exactly how your brain remembers language better. But here's a question. What should you do when you hear a useful English sentence and 5 minutes later, you've already forgotten it? There's a very simple, almost nobody uses it, and it only takes 2 minutes. Let's discover it together in the next part. Thank you for being here. Now, let me tell you a short story. A few months ago, I met a young man named Daniel. He had just moved to Canada. Every morning, he walked to the same little coffee shop. The people there were kind. The streets were clean. Soft music played in the background. The smell of fresh bread filled the air. Every day, The barista smiled and asked, "Hi, how's it going?" Daniel smiled back, but he always gave the same answer. "Good." Only one word. Then he quickly looked at the floor. He told me later, "Emma, I knew more English than I spoke. I wasn't afraid of English. I was afraid of making mistakes." Maybe you've felt that too. Here's the good news. You don't need a perfect answer. You just need one more sentence. Instead of saying, "Good," you can simply say, "Good, thanks. It's a beautiful morning." Or, "Pretty good. I stopped for a coffee before work." See? Only one extra sentence. But suddenly, the conversation feels real. Small change. Big difference. Now let me ask you something. Why do children learn to speak without worrying about mistakes, while adults often stay silent? Think about it. Don't answer yet. We'll discover the secret together. Many learners believe, "I need to learn 5,000 more words first." No, that's not the real problem. The real problem is this. They collect English, but they don't use it. It's like buying warm winter clothes and never wearing them outside. Your English becomes stronger only when you use it, even if it's slow, even if it's simple, even if it's not perfect. Remember this little sentence. Simple English every day beats perfect English someday. Let's say it together. Simple English every day beats perfect English someday. Beautiful. Keep that sentence in your heart. Today's first exercise is very easy. We're not studying. We're living in English. Imagine it's a cool Saturday morning in Edinburgh. The sky is gray. A light rain has just stopped. People are walking with takeaway coffee. A neighbor smiles at you. He says, "Morning, out for a walk?" Don't think too much. Just answer. Repeat after me. "Yes, just getting some fresh air." Again. "Yes, just getting some fresh air." Excellent. Now imagine you're at a weekend market in Amsterdam. You stop at a flower stand. The seller smiles and asks, "Looking for anything special?" Repeat after me. "Just having a look, thank you." One more time. "Just having a look, thank you." Perfect. Did you notice? These are not long conversations. Real life usually isn't. Most daily conversations begin with one simple sentence. Then another. Then another. That's how confidence grows. Not all at once, but one small moment at a time. 30-second mini challenge. Now it's your turn. I'll give you 3 situations. Answer out loud. Don't worry if your answer is different from mine. Situation 1. You're walking along the beach in Sydney. Someone says, "Beautiful day, isn't it?" Pause. Answer, "Great." Situation 2. You're getting on a train in Germany. A passenger smiles and says, "Is this seat free?" Pause. Answer, "Nice work." Situation 3. You're at a family picnic in Vancouver. Someone hands you a drink and asks, "Would you like some lemonade?" Pause. Answer, "Fantastic." Every answer you speak is another small win. But here's something interesting. What happens when someone speaks a little faster and you only understand half of the sentence? Should you panic? Or is there a much smarter way to keep the conversation going? There's a simple habit that confident English speakers use every day. Welcome back. You're doing really well. Maybe you don't feel it yet, but every sentence you speak is training your brain. Little by little, English is becoming more familiar. And that's exactly what we want. Let me ask you something. Have you ever listened to a native speaker and thought, "Wow, they speak so fast"? Most learners think, "I need faster ears." Actually, that's not the first step. Here's the secret. Don't listen for every word. Listen for the important words. Your brain will slowly connect the rest. For example, imagine you're waiting for a bus in Manchester. Two friends are talking. You hear, "Bit chilly today, but the sun shines nice." Maybe you don't catch every word. That's okay. You hear, "Chilly, sunshine." Now you understand the idea. It's a cool day, but the sun is out. See? You don't need 100%. You only need the message. That one small change takes away so much pressure. Exercise 2. Catch the meaning, not every word. Let's practice together. I'll say a sentence slowly. Just listen first. Then repeat. Ready? Looks like it's going to rain later. Again. Looks like it's going to rain later. Excellent. Now imagine you're in Dublin. Dark clouds are moving across the sky. Your friend looks up and smiles. What could you say? Repeat after me. I'd better take my jacket. Again. I'd better take my jacket. Very good. Now another one. Imagine you're walking through a busy street in Glasgow. A cafe is full. Someone says, "Let's try the place across the road." Repeat. Let's try the place across the road. Beautiful. Notice something. These are real sentences. People really say them. Not difficult, not perfect, just natural. That's the English you want. Here's a tiny challenge. Tomorrow, listen to one short English conversation. Don't stop after every sentence. Don't open a dictionary immediately. First, ask yourself, did I understand the main idea? If the answer is yes, you've already won. Now, let's make English even more personal, because the easiest conversation is the one you have with yourself. Exercise 3. Talk to yourself like a friend. Don't worry. This isn't strange. In fact, many confident English speakers do this. Imagine it's Sunday morning in Copenhagen. You're opening the curtains. Soft sunlight comes into your room. You stretch, smile, and quietly say, "Today feels peaceful." Repeat after me. Today feels peaceful. Again. Today feels peaceful. Lovely. Now imagine you're cooking breakfast. The bread is getting warm. The eggs are almost ready. You smile and say, "Breakfast smells really good." Repeat. Breakfast smells really good. Excellent. Now you're putting on your trainers. You're getting ready for a walk. Say, "I'll be back before lunch." Again, "I'll be back before lunch." Very nice. Can you feel it? These are your thoughts. Your real life. No acting. No memorizing. Just living. In English. 30-second speaking challenge. Let's play a little game. I'll give you a situation. You answer. Any simple answer is perfect. Ready? You're walking through a park in Zurich. A friendly dog runs past. Its owner laughs and says, "He gets excited every morning." What would you say? Pause. Speak. Great. Now you're sitting beside the beach in Brighton. Your friend asks, "Do you want to stay a little longer?" Pause. Answer. Excellent. Last one. You're helping your family prepare a summer barbecue. Someone asks, "Can you bring the drinks, please?" Pause. Speak. Perfect. Did you notice? You spoke 3 times. That's 3 more conversations than yesterday. And that's how confident speakers grow. Not by being perfect, but by speaking again and again. But here's another question. Why do some sentences stay in your memory, while others disappear after 5 minutes? There's a simple memory trick. Almost nobody teaches it. But once you start using it, remembering English becomes much easier. Let's discover it. You're still here, and that makes me really happy. Because every minute you spend listening is another minute your brain is becoming more comfortable with English. Not perfect, just more comfortable. And that's real progress. Can I ask you another question? Have you ever learned a new English sentence? Felt really proud. And then the next morning, it completely disappeared? You stop. You smile. And you think, where did it go? Don't worry. That happens to almost everyone. Here's the simple solution. Don't try to remember more English. Remember English more often. There's a big difference. Think about your favorite song. Why do you remember it? Because someone explained the grammar? No. Because you heard it. Again, and again, and again. English works the same way. Small repeats. Big results. Exercise 4. The 2-minute memory method. Today we're going to build a tiny habit. Only 2 minutes. That's all. Imagine you're walking home after work in Edinburgh. The air feels cool. People are carrying shopping bags. Someone walks past talking on the phone. You hear one sentence. I'll see you around. Don't continue walking immediately. Stop for just a moment. Smile. And quietly repeat, I'll see you around. Again, I'll see you around. Now close your eyes for 2 seconds. Where could you use that sentence? Maybe after meeting a neighbor. Maybe after chatting with a workmate. Maybe after talking to someone at the gym. Now the sentence has a home, and your brain remembers it much longer. Let's try another one. Imagine you're leaving a small bakery in Paris. The woman behind the counter smiles warmly. She says, "Have a lovely weekend." Repeat after me. Have a lovely weekend. Again. Have a lovely weekend. Now imagine saying it to your friend, your neighbor, or your cousin. Excellent. You didn't memorize. You imagined. That's the secret. Tiny memory challenge. Let's play a quick game. I'll say 3 sentences. Don't write them down. Just listen. Ready? Take care on your way home. I'll catch up with you later. That sounds like a good idea. Great. Now, without looking back, which one do you remember? Even if you remember only one, that's success. Because your brain remembers meaningful English, not endless lists. Here's another secret. Many learners spend 30 minutes reading, but they spend 0 minutes trying to remember. That's why English disappears so quickly. Instead, after every short lesson, close your phone. Wait 30 seconds. Then ask yourself, what do I remember? Even 2 sentences are enough. Little by little, your memory becomes stronger. 1-minute evening routine. Tonight, before you go to bed, try this. Think about your day, not in your first language. In simple English. Very simple. Maybe today was busy. Dinner was delicious. The weather changed quickly. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. That's enough. No pressure. No dictionary. Just simple thoughts. 1 minute. Every evening. And here's something beautiful. One day, without even noticing, you'll stop translating. The sentence will simply arrive. Naturally. Quietly. Almost like talking to an old friend. But we're not finished yet. In the next part, we're going to bring everything together. You'll join Emma in longer, real-life conversations. We'll visit a sunny beach, a family picnic, and a cozy weekend cafe. And by the end, you'll realize something surprising. You're already speaking much more English than you believed. Welcome back. Can I tell you something? I'm really proud of you. Not because your English is perfect, not because you know every word, but because you're still here. You're listening. You're speaking. You're trying. And that's exactly how people become confident. One small step. Every single day. Today, let's stop thinking about studying English. Instead, let's simply live one beautiful day in English. Ready? Close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow breath. Now imagine. It's a warm summer morning in Vancouver. The sky is bright blue. A light breeze moves through the trees. Families are walking beside the water. Children are laughing. Someone is flying a colorful kite. You have nowhere to rush. Today feels calm. Today feels happy. Exercise 5. Live one day in English. Let's begin our day together. You wake up. You open the curtains. Sunlight fills the room. Smile and repeat after me. What a lovely morning. Again. What a lovely morning. Wonderful. Now you're making breakfast. Fresh toast is ready. The kettle is boiling. You take your first sip of tea. Say, "This is exactly what I needed." Again. This is exactly what I needed. Excellent. Now you're getting ready to leave. You check the weather. It looks warm. Repeat. I don't think I'll need a jacket today. Very good. Now let's go outside. You're walking through a quiet street. A neighbor is watering flowers. They smile and wave. They ask, "Morning. Any plans for today?" Your turn. Pause. And answer. Maybe. I'm meeting my family this afternoon. Or, I'm just going for a long walk. Perfect. Any simple answer is a good answer. A little later, you arrive at a beautiful beach in Australia. The waves move gently. People are reading books. Some are building sandcastles. Others are enjoying fish and chips by the sea. Your friend smiles and says, "This place never gets old." Repeat after me. I could stay here all day. Again. I could stay here all day. Beautiful. Did you notice? You're not learning random sentences. You're collecting moments. And your brain remembers moments much better than isolated words. Quick speaking challenge. Let's make it real. I'll ask. You answer. Ready? Your friend says, "Would you like to grab an ice cream?" Pause. Speak. Great. Now, your cousin asks, "Should we watch the sunset?" Pause. Speak. Excellent. Last one. Your brother says, "Let's take a family photo." Pause. Answer. Fantastic. See? You're having a real conversation. One sentence at a time. A story you'll remember. Before we finish, I want to tell you about Daniel again. Do you remember him? The young man who always answered. Good. One morning, you walked into the same little cafe. The same friendly barista smiled. The same question came. "Hi, how's it going?" But this time, Daniel didn't stop at one word. He smiled and said, "Pretty good, thanks. It's such a beautiful morning today." The barista smiled back. "It really is. Any plans for the weekend?" And something wonderful happened. The conversation didn't end. It continued. For 2 minutes. Then 5. Then almost 10. When Daniel left the cafe, he wasn't smiling because his English was perfect. He was smiling because, for the first time, English felt natural. Not difficult. Not scary. Just normal. And one simple conversation changed the way he saw himself. Maybe your first conversation like that is much closer than you think. But before we say goodbye, let's bring everything together. In our final part, we'll have one complete slow English conversation. We'll review everything you've learned today. And I'll leave you with one message. I hope you'll remember every time you speak English. Before we finish, let's do one last thing together. No pressure. No perfect answers. Just A simple conversation. Imagine it's Saturday afternoon. You're walking through a beautiful park in London. The flowers are blooming. A few families are having picnics. Children are kicking a football. An elderly couple is feeding the ducks. The air feels fresh after a light morning shower. You sit down on a wooden bench. A friendly woman sits beside you. She smiles. Slow English conversation. Woman. Hello? You. Hi. Woman. Lovely afternoon, isn't it? You. Yes, it's beautiful today. Woman. Do you come here often? You. Sometimes. I like walking here at the weekend. Woman. Me too. It's peaceful. You. Yes, it helps me relax. Woman. Are you from around here? You. Not really. I moved here not long ago. Woman. How are you finding it? You. I'm enjoying it. Everyone has been very kind. Woman. That's lovely to hear. You? I'm also practicing my English every day. Woman? Really? You're doing a great job. You. Thank you. I'm trying a little every day. Woman. That's the best way to learn. You. I think so too. The conversation ends. You both smile. You stand up. And before you leave, you say, "Have a wonderful weekend." She smiles warmly. You too. Take care. Did you notice something? That wasn't a difficult conversation. There were no complicated words. No long grammar rules. Just simple English. Used naturally. And that's exactly how millions of conversations happen every day across the UK, Canada, Australia, Europe, and many other places. Let's remember, today, you didn't chase perfect English. You built real English. You learned that small conversations matter. Simple answers are enough. Listening calmly helps more than translating every word. Your daily life is already full of English. A walk in the park. A rainy afternoon. A family barbecue. A quiet cafe. A weekend train journey. A sunny beach. These ordinary moments can become your English classroom. One last thought. Before you leave, I want you to remember something. Maybe today, you understood 80, maybe only 60%. That's okay. Progress isn't measured by perfection. It's measured by courage. Every time you listen, your ears become stronger. Every time you repeat, your voice becomes clearer. Every time you speak, your confidence grows. One sentence. One conversation, one day at a time. And one morning, you'll answer someone in English without stopping to translate. When that moment comes, I hope you smile, because you'll remember. It all started with these small conversations. Thank you for spending this time with me. I truly enjoyed it. If this conversation helped you feel a little more confident, come back tomorrow. We'll enjoy another slow English conversation. Meet new people, visit new places, and keep building your English. One relaxed conversation at a time. Until next time, take care of yourself. Keep smiling. Keep listening. Keep speaking. Little by little, you're becoming the English speaker you've always wanted to be. I'm Emma, and this is Learn English Unleashed. Bye for now.